All right, Pam Bondi now confirmed as the new Attorney General, DOJ, under the new administration. Just a couple preliminary thoughts, and in this video, we'll break it down. So ultimately, I think we're going to see a lot more prosecutions of real crimes, Title 18 stuff, treason, actual sedition. I think we're going to see prosecution of attorneys, because attorneys are usually the ones that are doing most of the crime. The most criminals are going to be the attorneys. They're doing absolute massive fraud in California. They're very well calculated fraud, but it's widespread. Mostly, it's targeting people who are just regular people who own homes. It's happening everywhere, and these people are just getting slammed, dunked, and hammered by these attorneys. It's crazy. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. Also, we're going to see a lot of prosecution of politicians, corrupt politicians, people that have been taking bribes. We got the mayor of Oakland, who's already been prosecuted right now. She's being prosecuted for taking a lot of bribes while she was the mayor and doing massive corruption. Also, we had the DA of Oakland. She also she got recalled. She hasn't been charged yet, but I think we're going to see more people like that getting charged, and also just more anyone who harboring criminals. If you're now, when I say a criminal, I mean actually a convicted. They went to court. They were convicted by a jury. They were charged and convicted. They're a guilty criminal. Harboring those people in a sanctuary city, that is against the law. You can't harbor people who've been convicted of crimes, hiding them out, in the city. Oh, it's safe here in San Francisco, like they do in San Francisco now, saying that that's okay. So I think we're going to see a lot of prosecution on things like that. There's going to be major change and shakedown inside of the federal. I say inside the DOJ. You're going to see some freaking major indictments getting dropped. I'm hoping, because we have great laws on the books, and the federal government doesn't use them. Title 18 is so freaking powerful that it's just not used that much against these people, mostly politicians and attorneys. Those are the ones that we need to go after the most. Now, I don't care. I'm not apolitical. Whoever has, if they can investigate crime, and if they've violated those statutes, those federal statutes, they should be hauled in for court and given due process. I don't care what party they are, And that, I think, is what we're going to see. We're going to see a lot more of just prosecutions of people who've committed crimes, more about attorneys, going after these attorneys. Attorneys need to be charged and brought in federally and indicted. Not only just forget disbarred, they need to be indicted and punished and sent away. And I think that we'll see a massive, hopefully we'll see a massive tidal wave of indictments for attorneys, because I would say that most criminals right now I've seen are the attorneys. That's their main thing is crime. They say crime pays, being an attorney. That's what they say. So it's they want to go after those guys more, and then also just go after any politicians who can be, of course, given due process, found they're taking bribes. Let's clean these things out of all parties, of all this crap, and we can get new people in there who are just going to be for the people, and get rid of make all these attorneys who have broken the law, specifically going after, making up forged documents in California. It's unbelievable what they do with the going after people for taking their homes. They do non-judicial foreclosure sales, just targeting them, and, basically say that, hey, you didn't pay, they say a person's mortgage was charged off years ago and they transfer it over to another debt collector. That debt collector attorney then just basically says, this happens. And there's plenty of cases to back this up, that they say, oh, this person signed it as a notary. That notary comes into court, says, I never signed any of these documents. This isn't even my signature. Turns out the attorney just made all that up. And he got basically it's called the zombie. They call it zombie foreclosure cases. There's no foreclosure, there's actually no loan. It's just a zombie debt collector fraud case. Those are just common. And then they'll kick the person out on the streets and they didn't even have a debt. How do you like that? So that's happening. We need to stop those types of attorneys, get rid of them, because, people have a right to their home, be Fourth Amendment and these constitutional rights, which should be upheld. And we don't need to get BlackRock and these Carrington attorneys more richer. That's just the last thing we need. So, we need to focus on just the everyday people preserving their rights. And that's what Pam Bondi, I think, is going to do. And it can't get any worse than it's been, right? That's the thing. it's absolutely been so bad that, I mean, I've completely like, dude, want nothing to do with it. So I'm just like, now, well, it sure can't be worse. That's for sure. There's no way it could be worse. So I'm hopeful that right? That's on the bright side. Can't be worse than it's been. There's no possible way. So hopefully we can get some indictments and really see some major freaking, indictments dropping. I want to see some treason. I want to see some freaking sedition. These charges of people who have signed an oath to protect and defend the Constitution and blatantly gone against it. They should be investigated, charged, given due process, and then taken away and given the maximum sentence, under the law, retribution. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. She's been tough in Florida on people who have done crimes, and there's no reason. We got great laws on the books, and they're just not used. They're not used by the DOJ, and they focus mostly on political stuff. Oh, we'll go after Trump because of January 6th. 33%, they said, of all the resources went after that. When it's already been proven there was no insurrection. The court's already said that wasn't an insurrection. It's been a court case determined, went all the way to the Supreme Court. Not an insurrection, sorry. They're still bringing that up. 33% of the resources were focused on that. Now let's change all those resources and focus on the criminals who did corruption, okay, and investigate those people, bring them into court, and let's see some freaking change, dude. I'm excited. So Pam Bondi's in, and let's see if there can be some actual justice again, not just us, because that's how it's all been out here. It's just been just us. And let's see some attorneys get indicted. That's the main thing. Let's start with the attorneys, start with the politicians. That's where we begin. Let's get those guys first. Most of the attorneys, get 90% of the attorneys, get them. All those people should be served in, indictments. Make the attorneys should be guilty before, they shouldn't get due process. But I mean, it's obviously they should, but I'm just saying, let's clean up these attorneys, because that's the main problem with the crime is the attorneys. And I mean, all the good attorneys, there are some, absolutely. There's no reason, but start investigating all these people, all these attorneys, especially in California. It's just rampant. They just get away with whatever most of what they want. So, all right, Pam Bondi, let's make it happen. Can't be any worse, right? If you hit the ones, my name is Gavin Mehl, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of people subscribing. I'm going to be talking more about stuff on Friday, coming out with I got a space I'm doing with Brian Doherty and Greg. We're going to go all into some of the political stuff that's happening with, I would say political, but it's actually like, Brian has done a lot of lobbying in Congress, and he's going to be coming directly out of this. Brian Doherty's with Smart Ledger is going to be coming directly out of this meeting with the Virginia Senate or the Virginia House, either way, the lawmakers in Virginia, regarding talking about blockchain efficiency and how blockchain makes the government a lot more efficient. And so that's going to be on Friday. We're going to be talking about that and how it solves problems of transparency, efficiency, solves money. I mean, and, I made a post about this, and I talked about, the number one thing you got to do is you got to identify all the problems they're having. Identify every single problem. And once you identify all the problems, label all these problems, get them to say that's right, then freaking close the deal. Say, that's why you need this service right here. And then it's a matter of like, boom, let's get it done. Make sure, of course, you get through the brokers and have the right decision makers there at the time who can make decisions. But there's no reason they should be holding back, because blockchain does solve these problems and make their life that much easier. So look for that on Friday. A lot more to come. We're in an exciting time, that's for sure. Hit the ones. This is Gavin. I'll see you at the top later.